A lot of people think you can only pack about 5 days worth of stuff into a carry-on bag. I mean, the luggage companies literally tell us this in their product descriptions. So when I say I can pack 10 full days into a bag that fits under the seat, it might sound impossible, which is why I call it the bag that shouldn't exist. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I do it and how you can use the same strategy to maximize your packing space for your next trip. The bag I'm talking about is the bento bag from Nomad Lane, who I'm partnering with on this video. The reason I call this the bag that shouldn't exist is because it's optimized so well. The layout, the pockets, the structure, everything is designed to stretch what an underseat bag can realistically do. I've featured this bag lots on my channel because I love traveling with it, but one of the features I love the most that I haven't really talked about before is that all the pockets are accessible from the exterior. And I don't think a lot of people realize how important this is until you use a bag that doesn't have everything easily accessible. The entire bag is designed to have completely accessible pockets and compartments individual from each other. So you only ever need to unzip once to find what you need. This means you're never searching or rummaging for something. This is really helpful when you're on the plane, in the middle of the flight, when it's dark, and you can simply just pull your bag out, unzip, and find exactly the item you need without having to look through the whole bag. Same thing with airport security or TSA, everything is easily accessible to pull out if needed. So here's everything I'm bringing for a 10-day trip. Now, the hardest part for most people is clothing, so the key is to pack versatile items that can be worn together, and ideally items that aren't bulky and pack down very flat. You're also going to include your travel outfit in this mix, so we have the most space available for packing. But I know everyone wants to know how to be stylish and comfortable at the same time, so I'm going to show you a few tricks to help with that. For this trip, I'm packing 8 items and following a black, burgundy, and cream-colored palette. 3 bottoms, a long sleeve, a light sweater, a cardigan, and 2 t-shirts. Now, not all of these pieces are going to get packed into the bento bag. You're going to use some of them as your travel day outfit. So for me, I would wear my black Athleta pants. These are so comfy. I recently wore these on my 10-hour flight to Japan. And what I love about them is not only are they stretchy and comfortable, they don't really look like athleisure. They're slightly thick and have a little bit of structure to them, so they can look dressy when you need them to. And what I loved about these the most on my recent 3-week trip is that these did not wrinkle at all. And they were easy to wash and they dried very, very quickly. And then I would wear a merino wool t-shirt underneath my merino wool red sweater here. I love merino wool for traveling because it is temperature regulating, which is really important for a long flight when you never know if it's going to be too cold or too hot or going back and forth between the two throughout the flight. And of course, I love traveling with merino wool clothing because you don't have to wash it every day. When I get back to my hotel room, I'll just hang up one of my tops, let it air out overnight, and then it's good to wear again the next day. So you can get at least 4 or 5 wears out of each piece of clothing without having to wash it. So on a 10-day trip, when we want to do the least amount of laundry, this is going to be key. Next, for bottoms, I love wearing jeans, and so I've got these wide leg jeans that honestly feel like thin sweatpants. And I think being wide leg and a darker wash makes them really versatile to dress up or down. I actually wore these on my Europe trip this past summer and absolutely loved them. And compared to regular denim, these pack down super flat as well, which is key for this strategy. And finally, for my 3rd bottom, I have a black satin skirt. And the main reason behind choosing something like this is because this packs down ultra flat. Honestly, not much bigger than a thick piece of paper. And a nice light flowy skirt can be worn on warmer days. Here are the 11 different outfits that I put together from these pieces. These go together nicely for an elevated casual look for weather hovering between 15 to 25 degrees, or mid 50s to mid 70s. Now, remember, this is just an example of how you can pack just a few pieces that come together to create multiple outfits for your entire trip. What I've pulled together here is just a guideline, so feel free to use and adjust based on what works for you and your style and your colors. What I'm trying to teach here is that you want to be intentional about everything that you pack. So everything needs to have a function, and each piece and fabric that you choose needs to pack well and travel well. For a trip like this, packing light, I would pack 3 pairs of socks and underwear in addition to what I would be wearing for a total of 4 pairs. This allows you to do some quick sink laundry each 2 to 3 days, and 1 pair of pajamas. Now for toiletries, I'm separating them into wet and dry. Wet goes in the clear toiletry case that comes with the bento bag. So I have some lotion, some makeup. This is my shampoo and conditioner in my little pouches. I actually had these filled up quite a bit more because these are what I brought with me to Mexico last week. I've got some leave-in conditioner. This is my hair gel for when I wear it curly. Inside here is my smoothing cream, and inside this one is my curling cream. Then I have a little pouch with my dry items, which includes my deodorant stick, floss, an eye pencil, toothpaste tablets, my face wash makeup remover melts, a few band-aids, and some supplements and ibuprofen. I have a few more things, but let's start packing everything. First, I'll set my airport outfit aside. And I'll start with packing my jeans, then just layering the remaining clothing items in with the bulkiest pieces in first. Then on that same side, I add my pajamas, and tuck in my underwear and socks around the edges or wherever I can feel that there are some gaps to fill. On the other side, I place my hair straightener and a second pair of shoes. Remember, we're wearing our bulkiest pair on the plane. I've got a hair clip, and then I'm placing my dry toiletry bag. Going back to the other side, because I forgot a couple things, I'll place my toothbrush in its protective holder and my comb. Now I'm zipping it up to add everything else, starting with my liquid toiletries in their dedicated pouch that's easy to grab at airport security, or even if you need something from under your seat on the plane, it's right there easily accessible. Now in the next pocket, the bento bag comes with this dedicated tech pouch, but instead of that, I'm actually going to use their small size sling bag. I'm using this as my tech pouch instead while I'm in transit. And then once I reach my destination, I now have a crossbody sling for sightseeing and carrying all my daily essentials. So first, I'll place it inside the pocket empty and then add my tech items. I've got my power bank, my slim charging station that's also a travel adapter, a USB-C cable, my Bluetooth adapter if there's seatback entertainment, and my noise-canceling earbuds. I like these in particular for traveling light because there's a built-in phone stand to watch your show on the plane. And then the front pocket is nice and wide, it's got a zipper, so that fits my passport and my wallet and phone. But there's also a secret pocket at the back for your phone if you prefer to use that. And I usually throw in some disinfecting wipes and any other small items like a pen or tissues. Now that this is all packed up, it's time to weigh it. So, this weighs about 10 pounds with everything in it. And to show you that this is still all packed, I'm going to show you that we have everything still in here. So in the front pocket, we still have our passport and our wipes. And then in these 2 front pockets, I still have all of my wet toiletries. And then in this pocket, I still have all of my electronics, tech items, and then we're gonna open it up this way so that you can see that I still have everything in here, including my shoes, my dry toiletry items, my tissues, my hair clip, my hair straightener. It's all still in there. And then we're gonna go to this side where I've got all of my clothing. I've got my little handbag, all of my socks and undies, my pajamas, and then I've got all of my clothes still in here. Ta-da! Carrying this 10-pound bag can be a little heavy for some folks, and so I always say the bento bag works best when it's paired with a roller carry-on sitting on top of it. And so here is what the bento bag looks like on some of my favorite roller carry-ons. Now, the secret here is I just showed you a real example of how someone could pack 10 days of travel into just this bag that fits under the seat. But if you need to bring more, now you have a completely empty carry-on, 35 to 40 liters of space that you can use and bring with you. This bag already has 10 days worth of outfits and 2 pairs of shoes, so now you have an extra 40 liters of space to use however you want and need. But if the airfare that you bought only allows you to use one bag that fits under the seat, now you have a strategy that you can use to do just that. And if you're only bringing a bag that fits under the seat, there are going to be a few sacrifices that you do have to make. You're not going to be able to bring absolutely everything with you. You're going to have to rewear a few pieces of clothing. And that's kind of the whole point, is you are limited to just one bag. But I hope that in this video, I was able to show you that you can in fact bring everything that you might need for a 10-day trip. Or if you don't need to pack much more than what's in this bag, but maybe you need a jacket, the beauty of this bag is that it doesn't take up the entire underseat space, especially if you're in the middle or aisle row. You can board the plane wearing your jacket and then immediately take it off and place it beside your bento bag under the seat in front of you. Because we're not going to be one of those passengers who puts a jacket in the overhead bin, are we? Yeah. If you haven't gotten yourself a bento bag yet, or maybe you want to treat yourself to one of the new colors, you'll find the link to the bag in the video description below, as well as the first comment, or by scanning the QR code. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.